allow myself to be raped by a woman. How can it's impossible.
With crying there, it's always here. I can just watch cartoons and cry. I can just.
I will buy toys for my kids based on their interest, not gender. Welcome to the Voice Out session of the Voice Talk Show, where we give voice to the unspoken issues of Africa to inspire change. This is run by the Voice community, a group of people that seeks to empower voices to be voices for themselves and others as well. We run a foundation that deals with the fight against gender-based violence and its related mental health issues. Today, on the Voice Out session of the Voice Talk Show, we're talking about gender equality and gender equity. And we have on our seats members of the Voice community and other people from different organizations on our seats as well. So we'll have them introduce themselves. I am Richard, your host for the Voice Out session today. Let's have them introduce themselves.
I'm Imade Dankwa, a member of Voice, and Edikin, yeah.
Okay, I'm Edna, a nurse.
I'm Asa, an event planner.
Okay, so my name is Luther Dennis Nyantiade. I work with Willows International Ghana, and I'm a volunteer with Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, PPAG for short.
I'm Dawood Osuma, an entrepreneur, the founder and creative director of Flame.
Okay, so as we always do on the Voice Out session, we have statements that we discuss pertaining to the subject that we have every month. And this month we are dealing with gender equality and gender equity as a community. So we placed it on our platforms for you to also have your voice heard by voting on our polls on our Instagram page, Voice Community. So I want us to feel free, express yourself. Lie if you have to. No, don't lie. Please tell the truth. Say what you have to say because we are trying to be as truthful as possible. With the first statement, it says, I know the difference between gender and sex. Do you agree or you disagree to this statement? I know the difference between gender and sex.
Gender is the way we group people. It could be young people, it could be women, it could be children. So it comes from where you are coming from and your target group of people that you are working with, that you can define them as gender. There are so many reasons or so many theories that people have in relation to gender. So I feel that it depends on your target group of people that you are working with or approaching. Okay, so sex, in my own context, sex is like, it is not like a man and a woman having sex, but the physical things that you see on our body, maybe a male with a a female with her breasts and stuff. So that is what sex is to me.
Gender and sex are the same thing. It's just male and female, man, woman, boy, girl. Simply it. And both represents all these categories, as in male, female, woman, man, boy, girl. That's just gender and sex.
Should I say they're synonym, right? So for gender is sex. So that's what I know. So another word for gender is sex. Another word for sex is gender.
Polls, 89% agree to the statement that they know the difference. 11% disagree that they don't know the difference. That they know the difference. So in other words, they are saying they don't know the difference. That's what they are saying. Okay, so the next statement is men and women can't be equal.
First off, I think by a layman's perspective here, equality means treating everyone the same way. You can't treat both men and women the same way because they have different needs and all of that. So trying to tell us that men and women can be equal, it's like a wild goose chase or something, because according to the World Economic Program, it says that achieving equality will take like 170 years. That's the next 170 years before we can achieve gender equality. And that is 158 years alone in North America. So I think what we should be bothered about is equity, not equality. Because equity is a means to an end, while equality is the end goal.
I feel that growing up even from the house, there's this saying that when you are the man, you are like, they give you all the needed support that you need. So even from the house, you are giving the support as a man. So I feel that if everyone, even right from your birth, you are giving that opportunity as a lady or as a man, you are giving the needed education, you are needed the like, you are giving all the exposure. Why would it be a barrier if you want to be a doctor or you want to be a medical engineer as a man or a woman? So I feel that it's all about your upbringing, how people really want to see or what they want to achieve at the end of the day. Because if you are working in an organization and they are not only looking at the men, but they want to bring both women and the men up, I feel it can be achieved.
Quality that we are talking about really is that we are saying that none is greater than the other, that they are all the same, they are all on one line. But I also saw, I want to hear it from the perspective of the woman. You agree that men and women can't be equal. So I want to hear from you. Living in a world where women are treated as less than men, so it's quite interesting to see that women are in a place where they also feel like, men and women can't be equal. So I want to really, I feel like people who are watching this would also want to know what makes you feel like a man and a woman can't be equal, especially from a woman's perspective.
Why I said I agree that men and women cannot be equal. Okay, looking at it from the biological point of view, physically, we don't look the same way. So that alone makes the difference. The kind of needs or expectations and rights I deserve is not what you deserve equally. So maybe what I go through, the emotional, I know ladies take things from the emotional point of view. You guys go with the logical point of view. We are different in every way. So I agree that we can't be equal. Our needs, our rights, everything, no. So I'm just taking it on the surface points, not too deep.
Okay, so let's move to the next statement. Are we okay? Okay. So 50% from our Instagram page, the Voice community page, agree to this statement, and the other 50% disagree. So it's like 50-50 right now. The next statement says, men don't cry. Bear mansu. Do you agree or disagree? Men don't cry, bear mansu. You know, we often hear that in our society. Okay, so what do you have up? Okay, you disagree. He's the only one that agrees that men don't cry. I don't think we need to say anything. I even cried 2 days ago. so so please, I don't think we need to explain. Okay.
I think the whole idea men don't cry, I think it's deeply rooted in toxic masculinity. And they tell you you are a man, grow up, man up, and then you don't have to. I think it starts from our upbringing, from the family. Like your mom and dad will tell you, one sister, you are a man, you don't have to cry and all of that. Your sisters, how do you want them to be looking at you and all? So we grew up with this hard man mentality, like as a man, even if you are like something is killing you deep, you should just bottle it in and not cry. And that's led to a whole lot of disasters. A whole lot of men, they commit suicide and all of that. Not because they don't want to cry out, but when they bottle the whole thing in, it gets to like fever pitch. They can no longer control it. I think that's what leads to suicide most of the times. It's something we have to change as a man. If there's a need to cry, you cry. Find solace somewhere. But I don't think myself, even if I disagree as a man, I don't think I'll ever cry. That's just it.
Yeah. One of the things I consciously try to do is always being vocal about these toxic. If I do anything that is not considered like crying, I want to talk about it. I want you to know, hey, I cried. I just want people to get to the point where they feel so comfortable with being a person, that I am a human being. I have emotions. There's this thing that I'm going through. I am suffering too. I am a man, yet still I have things that I'm dealing with. and consciously I want people to feel that way, because when you look at statistics, a lot of men, especially black men, African men, have a lot of issues when it comes to mental health, because they bottle a lot of things in. When it comes to violence, is because they do not allow themselves to just be people. They do not allow themselves to just be human beings, and they'd rather find the masculine way of showing it, and sometimes it ends up as violence. And that's the reason why the VOICE Foundation is even here, fighting against gender-based violence. And it starts with these kind of things. If men are able to just be human beings, we wouldn't be here fighting against gender-based violence in the first place. So it's good to, it's okay to cry. It's fine. It's okay to cry. Express yourself. We are all human beings with pain, with emotions, and it's fine. A lot of men even die. I feel like the death rate amongst men, it's all kind of linked to these lack of, inability to express these things. So it's important that men know that it is fine to cry. Last time you cried? Hey. Please wait.
I don't recall, but
Hey.
it, when was that? I can't remember. I went for no, not a church program per se. Okay, I think I was on a project, and then during that project, I think the money that was coming. Let me speak it strictly. I mean, it was quite okay. So I was really enjoying the project. So all of a sudden, we were just told to come home. Trust me, I was really much hurt because So when I go home, I started crying. So yeah.
Let's go. And both of you.
I think the last time I can recall is, I think, 2004. That was when I lost my uncle. I don't think, like, as a man, too, I was against men, like men don't cry, but I don't think as a man I will actually cry. I'd rather bottle it in and find solution, because I see myself as one who always has a solution to everything, no matter how difficult. Yeah, I don't see. You know one thing about me. I feel it makes me vulnerable. Crying. I think crying makes me vulnerable, and I don't need that vulnerability. Like, I think it all boils down to how I grew up here. I grew up the hard way, so I had to like learn to bottle everything and find a solution, like find ways out of it. So like I just learned to bottle things, and even if I'm dying here, you won't even know it. I'd rather bottle it in and all of that. I know it's bad, but it's something I can't help. Trust me. You can't help. I can't help it. It's something I can't.
I think for me, with crying, it's always here. I can't just watch cartoons and cry. I can just. So like these days when I'm going out, I don't really put money on me, because when I'm going to the field, you meet young people like, Charlie, I don't have money, and the way she even say it's like, if I don't take it, I'll give all my money. So
Okay, so this one, 100% people disagree that men don't cry. The next statement says, I will buy toys for my kids based on their interest, not gender. I will buy toys for my kids based on their interest, not gender. Agree or disagree? Disagree? Okay, so let's hear one.
Okay, if I have a son, a 2-year-old son, and we go to the mall and then he go and pick something like a lady's doll. I mean, what are you coming to do with it in the house? You understand? And then, if I should have a 2-year-old girl too, and then she goes to pick something like a car, it's normal. A toy car is normal, but for her to go and pick something like a gun, whom are you going to shoot? No, you are not supposed to play with something like that. Maybe it's supposed to be a keyboard or a guitar. It's normal. Yeah, you understand, but not a gun or knife. Something funny that guys can play with. You understand?
Okay. I agree, so I'll buy toys based on their interest. If my son wants a doll, I'll buy him a doll. Maybe he's interested in playing with their hair. He's going to be one big time hairstylist in the future. There are guys doing makeup now, so his interest can be anything. And when we're talking about this whole gender equality, equity, and all of that, it's not based on some job roles are for men and some job roles are for women. Both of us can fit in certain places. So if that's his interest, I don't mind. Maybe he wants to sew dresses for girls. That's why he wants to play with the dolls and see what is going to be like. And I mean, I can't tell what exactly he's thinking, but if that's what he wants, fine. If my daughter wants a gun, why not? Maybe she wants to join the soldier, the army, navy, or anything. If she wants to play with some instruments, fine. We can all play instruments. It's not gender based or anything. So for me, yes, on interest, fine.
But I think if the child can explain why he or she wants it, that one actually makes sense. A child, oh, why do you want it? Oh, mommy, please, I just want to play with it. I want to. You understand? Some will say it, and then you always need to listen to them. They make points sometimes. Maybe what do you want to eat? Or maybe he will say rice, but he doesn't really want rice. Sometimes they don't know what they want, but when you talk to them, you know what they actually want. So you, the mother, sometimes have to decide for them. Yeah, because they are kids.
Yeah, she has clarified what I want to say. To at that stage, the child doesn't know. Sometimes they don't know what actually what he or she is picking. She doesn't know what they do with it. A gun. What am I going to do with a gun? Probably she knows I have to play with it, but you have to explain to the child what the gun is used for, and then probably then the child know, okay, then I don't need this. This is what I want. You get it. So I think.
If you are going to use gun as an example, then I don't think even guys, the young boys, should be playing with the guns as well. Then I don't think the young boys should be playing with a gun, because we all know it's a weapon and you're supposed to use it to kill or destroy or mess up something. So if my kid wants to play with a gun, male or female, I'm very open-minded. I won't mind. But if you are taking it from a very serious point of view, then I'm not even buying. I won't even buy a water gun to even try to splash anybody with it, because the first thing it is to aim it at somebody. In the future, when you see a real gun, you still want to aim it. So on a more serious basis, we shouldn't even allow them to play with guns at all, except they understand what this actually means for me. But if you're taking it on any kind of toy, I still stick to my stand.
I think I would like to counter a point. She's saying that if she takes her 2-year-old son out to the mall and then the son picks a doll, like, she wouldn't buy it for him. Like, imagine you starting to teach your children stereotyping at 2 years old. How do you expect them to grow up? Telling a man, like, you are a man, you don't have to play with a doll, it's for ladies and all of that. Telling your 2-year-old daughter that you are a girl, you can't play with a toy gun or a knife. These are things a guy should be playing with and all of that. That's where you could see. That's where this whole thing is starting from. From 2 years old, you're already telling your son, okay, these are things a man should do. These are things a woman should do. Then they grew up with that mentality, and then it becomes a problem. Then when such things, it escalates, and then we gather here and start talking about inequality and all of that, not knowing it is the way, like their upbringing and all of that. I leave you to be very free.
Okay, so from Instagram, 67% agree and 33% disagree. The next statement says men can't be raped. Do you agree or disagree? Men can't be raped.
Agree. Okay. Exactly. Yeah. How can a man be raped? That's the question.
So explain.
Yeah, because the issue here is that every Bible says that flee from. You understand? So here's the case. Probably you've come across or you meet someone who's trying to, show you things. But I don't think the man will see this and say, I allow myself to be raped by a woman. I can't. It's impossible. You get what I'm saying? I don't think a man can be raped by a woman.
You don't think?
Yeah.
First off, when they say a man can't be raped, yeah, I'm not saying it should be by the female folks alone. Which, like, we live in a liberal world, like there is homosexuality as well. So a man can either be raped by a woman or a man. So when I support that men can be raped, I had an ordeal like some time ago because we know that sex has to be there needs to be consent before two individuals can have sex, two adults. When the consent is coming from one of the parties, then it's no longer mutual. It's no longer mutual when it's coming from one person and it's not coming from the other person. It's no longer mutual. Yeah, I had an encounter like that. She walked into my room, like we're just friends here. We weren't like we're cool, we're friends. There was no prior like agreement to have sex and okay, let me come visit you and all of that. Then she came in, like I was watching a movie, I was on the bed, so she was just, and the next thing she was all over me and all of that. And you know, at times you don't know someone's motives and all of that. And being a man, muscular and all of that, then you start saying no, and then she screams and everything. Like, nobody will believe. No, imagine me against someone tiny and all of that. Nobody will believe me. Like, oh, because, so I just had to I had to surrender and all of that. No, it wasn't fun. Like, to this moment, I don't talk to her. When she calls me, I think I've blocked her on everywhere. I had to. Yeah, no, she can't because there was no consent. We never had any plan to go down that road. Then you came and so I was like, what is our motives and what are our motives and all of that? What? Yeah.
I need to know that where you guys are headed towards. It's how to. You get what I'm saying? Like, you see, what you're approaching, you should know. You're approaching danger. You should know that. Yes, that's so.
No, you're wrong.
Really?
You're saying I'm approaching danger. Can't you have female friends come over to visit you? That is it. You are not sexually attracted to everybody. You can't be. You can just have I have female friends like all the way from high school. We're still friends. We've never done anything. It's just our friendship. Oh, Dawood, how are you? How have you been? Okay, I got a new job and this. Like, you just laugh. We talk about life, how you people are, what you've achieved since high school and all of that. But so if you tell me like any lady that comes into your room is danger, then you shouldn't have female friends because they are all danger to you. So when I mean men can be raped, it doesn't really mean that a lady will tie them down and then force them to penetrate her or something. It doesn't always have to mean that because at times you could force people, you could ask someone to do something against his own will and all of that. So I think to me that's rape. These are most of the things men go through in society and nobody will know. If not that we are here today, you would never know I went through something like that. You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. It's something I would have kept to myself if not that there's a question like this. Because I just want some guys out there to know that a lot of things happen and all of that. You should voice them out.
I think the problem when it comes to rape, the confusion that's happening with you and a lot of people, trust me, there are so many people, is we often view rape as a physical thing, like the physical aggression, the biological thing. Oh, were you erect? Oh, then it's not rape. Did you, even girls, even some women, after being raped, some people ask them, did you enjoy it? If you enjoyed it at some point, then it's not rape. Even some people, the worst part of rape is when there was some pleasure at some point. For victims, for a lot of victims, because she was aroused at some point, she feels even worse. Because I did not like this man, I didn't want to have this relation with this man, and it happened, I felt even worse. And it's the same with men too. Rape is not physical, neither is it biological about erection or anything. It is psychological. Did I give that consent to this person psychologically? Did I open myself up to say that, oh, I want this to happen for it to happen? No, if not, a lot of men are being raped even in marriages. Oh, they oh, I know people. Oh, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, and I say. But a man will not, even in marriages, even relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, a man will not complain because he feels like I'm a man. I'm supposed to do this. So you are doing it and you are pissed and you finish and you are so angry. But then who are you going to talk to? When you go and talk to someone else who's always Jimmy, why enjoy? Who are you going to talk to? You know. So I think gender equality, inequality also plays in this area that women are able to even talk about these things, but men can't. So I like the fact that we spoke about that. 100% of people disagree in the comment section, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Voice Network. Follow us on Instagram, Voice Community, and another Instagram page, VOIICE Foundation, where we fight against gender-based violence and its related mental health issues. I think we've also opened a Facebook account, Voice Community. Not I think, it is there. So please go and like that and follow it as well. So until next time, just want to say a very big thank you to these people. They are working out of love, and I know that they are working out of love, but we also need money, because like we need to support each other, we need to support the work and push the work. So please also, to support us, go onto our website www.voiccommunity.org to get our shirts. It's a way of donating to our work, and also you can donate directly to us and we will receive it and we'll be so grateful. So yes, follow us on VOICE Foundation and everything else. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.